Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Throwback Thursday, where we talk about a little bit of news and then I give you a throwback movie that sort of relates to it. And today we have to talk about the news that Neve Campbell is going to reappear in Scream 7. So let's jump right into it. Alright everyone. So I didn't say what our throwback movie's going to be, but stick around because you are going to want to find out what that is. Now, we have to talk about this Neve Campbell situation because it appears more likely than ever that we are going to see Neve Campbell return in Scream 7. And this is the reason a lot of people are saying that. Basically, when Neve Campbell was asked at an event before the writer's strike about Scream 7, she said she's not sure she's able to talk about that. Well, this is a very different contrast to her saying things about Scream 6, because when she was asked at a similar event about Scream 6, she told us that she wasn't in that movie. Just outright dropped it down. I'm not in that movie. So the difference here is that she's saying she's not allowed to talk about that. But let's break that down, because that can only mean one of two things. That can either A, mean that they have told her that she is not allowed to address whether or not she is in this movie due to legalities, which doesn't seem very likely. If you're not in the movie, you're going to be able to say you're not in the movie. I don't see any situation in which they could tell her to stay silent about her involvement in the movie. So I think we could toss that out the window. I think we could take that whole thing and just say she is in the movie, because that's the only way that you're not able to officially talk about it. The other scenario where this could be a thing is due to her kind of criticizing Scream 6 a little bit for her payment. She didn't feel as though she was getting paid enough for being in that movie. That could, in turn, be something that they say, hey, we just don't want you to bring this movie up. And maybe out of respect or something to do with her lawyer, she doesn't. But again, that doesn't seem very likely, because if you aren't in the movie, there's nothing that should be able to keep you from saying you're not in it. And we live in a time when a lot of actors will kind of say they don't know. They don't know, and oh, I'm not in that movie, and then it turns out they are. We're looking at you, Andrew Garfield. When Spider-Man No Way Home came out, everyone caught it. Everyone knew Andrew Garfield was lying. And everybody assumed that Neve Campbell was pulling a fast one on us. That she was going to be in this movie. And turns out she wasn't. She wasn't in Scream 6 at all. So then you take a look at what she said, and the only logical thing is that she is indeed in this movie. And why not? It's not the same people that are running it anymore. It's not the same company that didn't pay her enough. So, maybe that's the thing. Maybe now she is ready to come back. From what I heard, the Scream 7 script is going to be a lot more Sydney oriented than the other ones were. Like, when she was in Scream 5, just Scream, the requel, right? She came in for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the end, only to kind of help save the day, and really didn't do a whole lot to help the scenario. Now, it was nice to see her, and she was there, and it was good. But really, they could have done that movie without her, and fans just would have been mad she didn't show up. And that's kind of where we were with Scream 6, was she wasn't in it, and fans were upset. Now, with radio silence no longer involved, things are looking a little bit different. We have a new person writing it, a new person in charge, and radio silence is not involved anymore. This kind of changes the game a little bit. With Scream 7 being helmed by Christopher Landon, it really does change everything. This is the man who brought us Happy Death Day to You. And he could be looking at this in an entirely different way. He could be looking at this as a complete fresh start, looking at it in terms of, I can correct what I think they did wrong by not bringing Neve Campbell into 6. Because a lot of fans were upset by her not appearing in 6, even though she really didn't have a lot to do in the Scream requel, right? But with his guidance, all that could change. He could bring her in, give her a much bigger role, and actually appease the fans of the Scream franchise by giving them an exciting story. And not only that, giving them one in which the character of Sydney is important again. Negotiations were actually said to have started. So officially, these negotiations were said to have started and kind of gotten done, according to all the rumors I've heard. All the sources are saying that she signed a contract. So if this is true, and not only does it mean that she's able to say she is not allowed to talk about being in the movie, but it means that the reason she's not allowed to talk about being in the movie is because she is in the movie. That's simple. She's not allowed to say she's in the movie, but we can kind of determine from the course of events that she is. Now, let's jump into our throwback movie of the week. And our throwback movie of the week has gotta be Scream 2. Scream 2 sees the kids go off to college. And just like in Scream 6, we see them go off to college. And Sydney finds a new love interest. Everything's looking good. But right from the beginning, we know as the audience that Ghostface is back. And we know that things are not going to end well for Sydney. And someone looks like they are trying to kind of finish everything that got started. Someone's coming after Sydney. And that's the plot of Scream 2. This whole college setting changed a lot of events. Just like in Scream 6, you saw the college thing change their scenery as well. Except we didn't get to see them on the college campus that much in their movie. In fact, we kind of don't get to see them on the college campus really at all. And I think the reason for that is that they kind of wanted to separate themselves from Scream 2. So when you see Scream 2, now you have them in college, they're kind of running around, they're able to have a different scenery, and in Scream 6, they're able to go around in New York and have this different scenery. So the movies really did kind of go together. So when you're looking at the newer script coming out, you can only imagine that that will mirror Scream 3 in some way. But we don't know that for sure. But if you have not seen Scream 2, it kind of upped the ante in terms of what we expected after seeing the first movie. And I would argue that Scream 2, in some ways, delivered a little bit more than Scream 1 did. Because now it set up this scenario where the killer could be anyone. If not for Scream 1 kind of making sure that both killers weren't around anymore, and having those killers return, we would have seen just another slasher film with the same old killer running around here and there killing people. And this way you didn't know who was the killer at any given time. So that's what makes Scream 2 very relevant to the Scream franchise. And if you haven't seen it, You owe it to yourself to go and check it out. So let me know what you guys think. Alright everybody, as always, we want to know what you guys think, so leave us a comment in the comment box below. And don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Hit that like button as hard as you can. It's free, it helps the channel, and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers. And you don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, yes, I know it. You know it. And Miko knows it. Fandom is family.